Hi and welcome to another video for Year 7 Maths, still under the chapter Algebra. Now today you will learn how to do simplification of algebra expression. So basically to simplify algebra expression, you have to know two things. The first one is to identify what we call like terms and unlike terms. And you have to know how to add or subtract and multiply or divide like terms and unlike terms. So basically here later you will know how to do it. Okay, so let's start with this one. Okay, now like terms will be here. You have to know that they have the same variable, so they have the same alphabet. Let's say here example for x, 3x and x. And unlike terms, okay, I will highlight like terms, and unlike terms over here, they will have different variables. So that's the biggest difference of like and unlike terms. Okay, so here when you have unlike terms, we say let's see here 2x, 3y and x squared. So x, y and x squared are unlike terms. Remember, x squared means xx, so xx is not the same as x. So let's start with example number 1. So example number 1 here, group like terms together in the list below. So here when you have a look here, you have different variables with different terms. So let's start with looking for the m. So here m, 5m, okay, and then the like terms together with it is here, which is negative 3m. So they will be grouped together. I will write 5m and negative 3m. You have to double check whether there is another term with m inside it. No. So let's proceed to the next one. Okay, for the next one here, another color we'll use for 2n. Okay, negative 2n here. This is 1. And then when you have a look at the other terms, you have this one, right? So 0.25, and so they belong in one group because there is no another term with variable n. So here this is one group. So negative 2n and 0.25n. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, we'll use highlighter here. Y square. Okay, let's have a look here. You have and also 5y square. So they are like terms. So here I will write down here 1/3 y square and 5y square, and you are left with these two, which is negative 6.5x and 12x. So negative 6.5x and 12x. So basically you have four groups: one group with m, one group with n, one group with y square, and next group will be with x. So this okay, so here since you know already how to group like terms, so when you try to simplify terms by the for operation, we need to make sure that the terms are like terms. So here like terms will be used mostly in adding or subtracting terms, because here when you try to add or subtract terms, add or subtract like terms, we are adding or subtracting the coefficients. So this is going to be highlighted. So here let's start. So here when you have this mixture of operation and you have a mixture of terms, so here you have to collect the like terms together first. So here the first one is 12x, and then you also have negative 8x, so you are arranging it, so minus 8x, and then we proceed with y, which is plus 4y, and then there is no another y term, and lastly the constants here, plus 2 plus 5. When you have these, you can start away simplify the terms by adding or subtracting the coefficients. So here for x, the coefficients are 12 minus 8. So 12 minus 8 will be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will be 4x. And then 4y, no change, plus 4y. What about the constants here? So here plus 2 plus 5 will be obviously plus 7. So this is how you simplify terms when you try to add or subtract. Okay, now For multiplying and dividing terms, we have to divide like this. You have to divide the numbers and the variables separately. So what do I mean by that is that when you see, okay, for example here, 2a times 8b, it means that you have to multiply the numbers together. So 2 times 8, because here 2a is 2 times a, right? So basically everything is 2 times a times 8 times b. So you have to multiply the numbers and variables separately here. So here, I will highlight it separately. So the variables that you have here, a times b. So the numbers will be 2 times 8 is 16. Times a times b, you have to put them together. So that's very obvious. This is how you simplify when you multiply terms. Okay, next one will be 16ab divided by 2a. Now, this one, I will really suggest you to put it in form of fraction. 16ab out of 2a. And the same idea applies. You have to multiply the numbers with the numbers and the variables with the variables. So here, 16 divided by 2 will be 8. And a over b divided by a. So a divided by a will be 1, right? So here, you cancel a already. So you are left with 8 times 1 times b on the numerator will be 8b over 2 times a is 1. 2 times a, here no, this is not 2a. It's 1 times 1, so 1. So you have 8b. So just remember the basics here. For adding, you have to add the coefficient of the like terms only. Just the like terms. And for multiplying divided terms, you have to divide or multiply the numbers with the numbers and the variables with the variable. Right, let's proceed to example here. Okay, example here, there's a lot of things. Okay, let's just breeze through it here. So here you have 5a squared minus 2a squared. Both of them have the like terms. So just basically minus 5 minus 2 will be 3. And then the variables are a squared. Okay. Next one here, you have 4m plus 4n plus 3m minus n. So when you try to arrange them, 4m will be put next to plus 3m. And then for n, for n positive, you have to minus with n. So remember that minus n means minus 1n. So here, therefore, you will have 4m plus 3m. Sorry about that. 7m. And then plus 4 minus 1 will be plus 3. And then you have n. So this is your answer already. Now here, do not try to combine them. Let's say common mistake will be adding this together and writing 10mn. So here I will just highlight. This one should not be 10mn. No. Because here you are adding unlike terms, and unlike terms cannot be simplified. Unless it is multiplication, but it will be different story. 7 times 2 is 21. M times n will be mn. Okay, that's different. Okay, now for the next one. Okay, so here you have 5xy plus 7y minus 9x minus 3yx minus 2y plus x. It's quite long, but you can simplify it by looking at the terms. So the terms here, 5xy is actually similar to this one, negative 3yx. Remember that xy equal yx, okay? So they are the same term. And then 7y, okay, let's just write this down first. 5xy minus 3, okay, we'll just correct this, 3xy, because they are about the same. Okay, they are actually the same. So here, next one will be 7y, okay? 7y over here, and then another term with the same variable will be minus 2y. So I will put the terms without changing the sign, 7y minus 2y, and lastly x. So x here you have negative 9x plus x. We are rearranging them back, so here this will be easy to solve. So here 5xy minus 3xy will be 2xy, and then plus 7y minus 2y, 7 minus 2 will be 5, and then y, and then negative 9x plus x means 1x, so negative 9 plus 1 will be negative 8x. So that's for the part C. Next part here, arranging the same thing, 20y. By this time, you should be familiar. So here, 20y will be put next to negative 35y. And then here, negative 6yz plus 14zy. Yz is actually the same as zy. So basically, you just have to write down 6yz plus 14yz. Okay, it doesn't matter you don't change the alphabet because they are the same. Yz equals zy. Now simplifying this, okay, big number but no matter. 20 minus 35 will be negative 15 y, and then minus 6 plus 14 will be 14 minus 6. 14 minus 6 will be 8, positive 8 y z. Okay, so that's for the part D. And let's have a look here, E. When you have a look at E here, this is multiplication. So basically here, the numbers 3 times, because here 3 times A times 2 times B. So here, the numbers will be multiplied together, and then the alphabets or the variables will be multiplied together. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then times A, you have to put A next to it, but A times B is AB. So this is it for part E. And lastly, for example 1, negative 6xy divided by 4x. So here, like I advise you, you have to put this in the form of fraction. Okay, so that is easy for C. Because here, negative 6 divided by 4 can be simplified. Becomes 3 out of 2. And then xy divided by x divided by x will be 1. Okay, do not assume it's 0 because x divided by x is just like dividing 3 with 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so here just simplify everything. Negative 3 times 1 times y will be negative 3y over 2 times 1 is 2. So this is your answer after simplification. Alright, so next one will be example number 2. Example number 2 here, express the following as single fraction. So no matter, because here, when you know your fraction, you will know what to do with this one. Okay, so let's start with this part A. A is A plus A out of 2. Now, if you remember, A can be written as A over 1. So here, when you try to multiply A over 1 times 2 will be 2A out of 2, right? And then A plus A over 2. So here's quite simple. 2A plus 1A will be 3A, right? And then over 2. So this is that's it for this one. And then part B, 4n times 6m over 10n. Okay, just here, just try to be confident here because this doesn't really make problem here. So let's cancel like usual. All right, so here 4 can be divided by 10, but here you have to simplify. 4 divided by 2 will be 2, and then 10 divided by 2 will be 5. And n here, the variable n, m, and then on the denominator is n only, so you can cancel n, it becomes 1. So here you will have 2 times 6m, so 2 times 6m will be 12m over 1 times 5 times 1, so it becomes over 5. So this is already simple. Right, last but not least here, okay, 2y squared over 3x divided by 8y power 4 divided by 6x squared. So here, do not be afraid. Just do the basic thing, which is when you have divide fraction, you have to change into multiply. And then reciprocal, the fraction. Okay, 2y squared over 3x multiply 6x squared over 8y power 4. Now here you will use the idea of repetition because here 2y squared means 2y over 3x. So 2y over 3x, and then times 6x squared means xx over 8y power 4 means y times y times y times y, right? So here, when you see this, it's quite simple to solve. Now let's solve the number first. 2 out of 3 times 6 out of 8. You can cancel 2 and 8. Okay, so 2 will become 1 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 will be 4. And then 6 divided by 3, so 6 will be cancelled. Divided by 3 will be 2. And 3 divided by 3 divided by 3 will be 1. And let's now focus on the alphabets. So here you can see that X can be cancelled, okay, by pair. So here you can only cancel 1 on the denominator and 1 on the numerator. 1 pair only. And next one will be YY and then over Y. So you have 2 pairs. You can cancel 2 pairs. So that's the first pair. And the second pair will be this one. So you are left with this one, 1 over 1. Okay, here just focus on this one because here you have something left. So here 2 times x means 2x over 4y means 4y squared, right? So there you have it. That's for the example 2C. Okay, next, last but not least here, example number 3. A triangle has a base of 2x meter and a height of 4x meter. The longest side of the triangle is 3x plus 4 meter. So for question A, you have to find the perimeter of the triangle, and part B, you have to find the area of the triangle. So let's start with the perimeter of the triangle. So perimeters, basically, you just have to add everything, right? You have to sum all sides. So here for x, okay, let's do perimeter. Perimeter of the triangle will be 4x plus 2x plus 3x plus 4. So here the like terms already arranged together. For x plus 2x plus 3x, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So the perimeter will be 9x plus 4. Okay, I will give bracket because here it means an expression. So the perimeter will be 9x plus 4 meter. Okay, last but not least, the area will be half time base time height, right? So the base here, be careful here, you have to read that the base here is 2x and the height will be 4x. So the area will be half times the base is 2x, okay, and then times, I have give brackets, okay, just to make it simple. You can see the difference between x to multiply. So half times 2x times 4x. So here you can cancel the 2. Okay, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you are left with 1x times 4x. 1 times 4 is 4. And then x times x means xx, so x squared. So this is already your area. So area should be in meter square. So here you have 4x squared meter square. So I think that's it for this topic. I hope that it's just doable. So with that, thank you very much and see you again.